वेलकम बैक दोस्तों, आप सुन रहे हैं बातें मुलाकातें मनी के संग। मैं हूं आपका मेजबान मनी। और जैसा कि मैंने पहले बताया था, ब्रेक के बाद जब हम वापस आएंगे हम बात करेंगे अर्चना सुरेश साहिबा से। आप हमारे साथ फोन लाइन पर जुड़ चुकी हैं। आजकल आप यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स के दौरे पर हैं, तो इसलिए हमारे टाइम जोन्स मैच हो गए, तो हमने सोचा कि यही सही मौका है आपको इस शो पर बतौर गेस्ट लाने का। और मैं ज़रा उनका तारुफ करा दूं आप लोगों से। दोस्तों, आप डायरेक्टर हैं तेलंगाना सोशल इम्पैक्ट ग्रुप की, जो कि ऑफिशियल CSR सेल है स्टेट गवर्नमेंट का। कॉर्पोरेट सोशल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी जो होती है वो उस सेल का जो है वो गवर्नमेंट के उस सेल का जो है उस विंग में आप हैं। और चीफ एग्जीक्यूटिव ऑफिसर लीडरशिप और बाकी सीनियर ब्यूरोक्रेट्स जो हैं उनके साथ आप लिएजॉन ऑफिसर हैं। और कॉर्पोरेट इंडिया या इंडिया INC और मुख्तलिफ स्टेट गवर्नमेंट के महकमे और NGOs के साथ ताल्लुक आप बना करके रखती हैं। आप एक TEDx स्पीकर भी रह चुकी हैं। आपने जो डेवलपमेंट सेक्टर में काम किया है 2024 में, आपने 17 साल का आपका प्रोफेशनल एक्सपीरियंस हो गया है। और कॉर्पोरेट कम्युनिकेशन टीम से भी आपने काम किया है। इससे पहले आप याहू में थी, आप माइक्रोसॉफ्ट इंडिया में थी, आप HSBC में भी काम कर चुकी हैं। और वैसे तरबियत से तो आप कॉमर्स की स्टूडेंट रही हैं। आपने सेंट फ्रांसिस कॉलेज डिग्री कॉलेज हैदराबाद से आपने तालीम अपनी हासिल की, कॉमर्स में डिग्री हासिल की। उसके बाद आपने मणिपाल यूनिवर्सिटी से एग्जीक्यूटिव MBA की डिग्री भी आपने हासिल की। और आप ब्रिंग ए स्माइल फाउंडेशन आप चलाती हैं। और उसी सिलसिले में और ये आपके पूरे एक्सपीरियंस के बारे में हम बात करेंगे। Archana Suresh, welcome to the program. You are on air, and it is my delight to introduce you to my guests.
थैंक यू सो मच मनी। मेरी आवाज सुनाई दे रही है?
बिल्कुल सुनाई दे रही है, एकदम बुलंद आवाज है आपकी, सुनाई दे रही है अच्छे से।
थैंक यू। नो, इट्स बीन एन एब्सोल्यूट प्लेजर। ऑफ कोर्स, जैसे आपने कहा, मैं अभी US में हूँ विजिटिंग फैमिली, एंड या इट्स लैंड ऑफ अपॉर्चुनिटी, रियली मोर बेस्ड देन वन। तो अच्छा लग रहा है यहाँ पे। वेरी obviously very different from life in India, but happy to be here and happy to be speaking to you.
Thank you so much that you could make time for our show. I wanted to ask you कि मैं जैसे जब तमहीद मैंने अपनी पढ़ी थी, जब ये शो शुरू हुआ था, तब मैंने बताया था कि आपसे आज बात होगी। एंड मैं कैसे आपको जानता हूँ, बिकॉज वी वर कनेक्टेड बाय ग्रीफ। कि मैंने अपने वालिद साहब को खो दिया था और उसके गम में हम इस कदर हम परेशान थे कि हमने एक दिन सोशल मीडिया पे लिख दिया कि भाई अब हमसे झेला नहीं जा रहा है, बर्दाश्त नहीं किया जा रहा है। तब hundreds of people responded, among them you were one. एंड इनफैक्ट मैंने शायद आप ही का मैसेज देख के आपको जवाब दिया, एंड देन तब से मैं आपको जानता हूँ, एंड यू वर ऑफ ग्रेट हेल्प to me during that period. And through you, I got to know that you went through exact similar circumstances, but you lost your mother. So if you could tell us about that and how your grief produced Bring a Smile Foundation and your work in the development sector, how grief was in so many ways a major reason why you shifted towards this. If you could tell our audiences.
Sure, Mani, actually grief को बहुत बड़ा catalyst था मेरी life में to that I channelized, and I think I have to say this at the onset कि when people say कि मैंने ये किया है, मैंने वो किया है, it's actually if you dive a few levels deeper, अगर देखा जाए तो करने वाला तो ऊपर वाला है, हम माध्यम हैं। My mother used to say that, my late mom used to say that, and I feel कि 2014 में मैंने अपनी माँ को खोया। मम्मी को कैंसर था, ब्रेस्ट कैंसर था। बट एक्चुअली और थोड़ा अगर मैं पीछे गई इन टर्म्स ऑफ हिस्ट्री, आई हैव टू से दिस कि 2012 में my mother had given me this idea. मम्मी ने पूछा था मेरे से that तुम जरिया बन सकती हो between the haves and the have-nots, because India as a country has a lot of poverty, despite the fact that we have some of the richest people emerging from the country. But अगर I mean हम सब काफी लोग इंडिया में रह चुके हैं काफी साल to know that it's also a place where help is needed in a lot of ways. So my mother, who had 3 children, we had 3 girls, and I'm the oldest. My mom had asked me in 2012, can you be a channel of help? So मम्मी ने आइडिया दिया था, and then हमने I think somewhere we don't take our parents so seriously when they are around, right? I mean, सब अपनी life में उलझे हुए हैं, and we have so much that needs attention, whether it is work, whether it is family. मेरी बेटी 2012 में 1 साल की थी, and then I was balancing work in Microsoft and managing her. But मम्मी ने जब ये बोला मुझे, I think, and when I look back, I think मेरे ज़हन में कहीं न कहीं this idea had seeped into my conscious, subconscious mind, that I want to be able to do something for the underprivileged. तो हमने of course तब 2012 में मम्मी ने आइडिया दिया, and right then what we did was we collected clothes, toys, footwear to apartment communities में जाके actually we began with my apartment community. मेरे फ्लैट मतलब मेरी बिल्डिंग की कम्युनिटी में 600 अपार्टमेंट्स हैं, तो वहाँ पे भी of course collected clothes, toys, footwear, and because हम लोग के साथ सबके क्लोजेट में काफी चीजें हैं जो हम लोग यूज नहीं करते, तो you will not believe about 40 households came forward and donated a lot of things, अच्छे कपड़े, साड़ियाँ, सलवार कमीज, शूज, खिलौने which were not touched. So all this came to us 2012 में, and unfortunately क्या हुआ मेरी लाइफ में around in the end of the year my mother was diagnosed with cancer. 2013 तो ऐसे चला गया जैसे मुझे मतलब कुछ याद ही नहीं है, because I remember it was just hospital के चक्कर लगा के थी मैं with mommy's test reports. I mean, she was getting progressively worse even after taking chemo, because chemotherapy is also very painful. And मैं हमेशा कहती हूँ कि cancer doesn't affect just one person, it affects the whole family very, very significantly in a very, very heartbreaking way, because we saw our mom suffer, and she was getting unfortunately, like I said, she was getting worse. And 2014 में unfortunately she lost her battle with cancer. So I was just 32 years old. I had 2 younger sisters. My youngest sister was 25 साल की थी. तो जब मम्मी का देहांत हुआ, मुझे I just didn't understand what hit me. I mean, it is so strange. I mean, her because she was ill, मम्मी की तबीयत खराब थी, तो पता था that she was getting worse, but nobody really prepares you for death. Nobody tells you, sits you down and talks to you about what can happen as a consequence of that. So, मम्मी के जाने के बाद, I know for a fact that I was so devastated that and the pain was so much that I wanted to just numb it in some ways. And because I don't drink or smoke, I think my coping mechanisms were very, very few. So I said, you know what, I know that I've been through a very hellish experience. So मेरी तरफ से जितना हो सके मैं लोगों की मदद करूंगी. So what began as as a bit of, I think a coping mechanism / something that saved me really, what began as that really began to take a life of its own. तो हमने Bring a Smile Foundation के through इतना काम शुरू किया 2014 के बाद, where we would just go and distribute so many of these items in government hospitals, in slums. और फिर मैं जब इन इंसिडेंट्स के बारे में लिखती थी ऑनलाइन ऑन सोशल मीडिया, फेसबुक वाज क्वाइट बिग देन 2014 में, काफी लोग फिर मुझे मैसेज करने लगे सेइंग कि हम लोग आकर आपको हेल्प नहीं कर सकते हैं, बट कैन वी कंट्रीब्यूट मनी इन सम फॉर्म बिकॉज इट माइट हेल्प यू. एंड देन sooner than later we registered Bring a Smile Foundation as a trust. And money began coming into the account, and even to this day, till 2024, every 3 months we send out an email to donors with bills, photos, and a write-up telling them where their money is being spent. So transparency, accountability के तौर पे we are 100% clear. एंड मतलब वो बोलते हैं ना हिंदी में कि लोग जुटते गए और कारवां बढ़ता गया.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल.
Classic case of that. काफी लोग जुटने लगे इस cause के through. As of now, we are about in 9 geographies with 550 volunteers. Every volunteer has a day job. हम सब के मतलब jobs हैं जहाँ पे हम लोग जिसके through रोजी रोटी कमा रहे हैं really. But Bring a Smile Foundation is that offering to humanity, and it's a mini movement or a tribe of like-minded people जिनका only क्या बोलते हैं intention है जो जिनका उद्देश्य है to be of some use to humanity. So that's what Bring a Smile Foundation is about, and जैसा कि आप कह रहे थे, I think Bring a Smile was also my way of really coping with my grief, because I think when you think of other people's pain, you forget your own. So you realize that so many people are suffering, and as much as my mother's death completely shattered me, I also realized that there were some insurmountable odds that people were facing, like the physically handicapped segment. There were people with mental illnesses who were like on the verge of suicide. There were, absolutely some really, like I said, heart-rending cases that came our way. And, we just did whatever we could to sort of help out in whatever way. And like I said, we raised about $125,000 USD in a year and a half, not by soliciting, only because people, लोगों को भरोसा था हम पे कि जब हम इस NGO में पैसे डालेंगे तो पैसे will go to the right beneficiary. So that has been our journey, Mani.
It's a fascinating journey, Archana. Thank you so much for telling our audiences about it. मैं आपसे ये पूछना चाह रहा था कि देखिए, ये तो आपने ग्रीफ का जिक्र किया, आपने चलिए इस तरह से आपने इसको चैनलाइज कर दिया, इवन दो द इनिशियल फ्यू इयर्स वर रियली डिफिकल्ट फॉर यू. And I remember that you used to tell me when I lost my father and I was completely at sea and I didn't know what to do. And those were really difficult months because I was also getting ready to come to Canada, and that's when this happened. And then it was such a massive, massive shock to me because I could not believe that what appeared to be the best time of my life would also be the worst moment of my life. So I could not really understand this contradiction, how it could happen. तो मैं आपसे ये जानना चाह रहा था कि क्या मतलब आपका जो ये सफ़र रहा है विद स्माइल जी हाँ, ब्रिंग अ स्माइल फाउंडेशन, और जो आपका खुद का ये पर्सनली ग्रीफ का जर्नी रहा है, क्या आपको लगता है कि हमें शायद ग्रीफ के बारे में बात करने की ज़्यादा ज़रूरत है? शायद हम जनूबी एशिया से जो लोग आ रहे हैं, इंडिया से हो, पाकिस्तान से हो, हमारे ऑलमोस्ट कल्चर्स तो सेम ही हैं, श्रीलंका हो, बांग्लादेश हो, लेकिन हम ग्रीफ के साथ जो है जूझने के लिए हम इल इक्विप्ड हैं शायद. तो मैं आपके ख्यालात जानना चाह रहा था इस बारे में. मतलब डू यू सी पीपल टॉक about grief? Do parents really tell their children that they will not be around at some point? Do these conversations happen at all? And are they necessary?
I think you raised a very valid point, Mani. मुझे लगता है कि हम लोग ग्रीफ और डेथ के बारे में ज्यादा बात नहीं करते हैं हमारे कल्चर में, बिकॉज अपशगुन माना जाता है. एंड आई थिंक दैट इज ट्रेजिक बिकॉज इफ वी डोंट, आई मीन जस्ट लाइक birth is inevitable, death is inevitable as well. I mean, हमको जब बच्चा पैदा होता है, बच्चा लड़का या लड़की, घरों में खुशियां फैल जाती हैं, everybody is absolutely delighted by the new arrival. But I don't think we talk enough about the fact that the same child will someday grow into an old man or an old woman and leave, his or her mortal frame. And I think these conversations should be had. And I think, like I said, as a culture, I don't think we talk about it enough. But I'm just trying to think, I mean, families may, even if somebody begins to talk about it, I think they're asked to not talk about it. I mean, बच्चों को चुप कराया जाता है if they speak about this. And I have made it a point to talk to my daughter. My daughter is 12 years old. तो मैं अपनी बेटी से बात करती हूँ about normalizing the fact that, look, if there is someone who is passing away, it doesn't mean that they are gone forever, because I mean, I don't know if you, I mean, people here, your listeners, I'm sure there are quite a few erudite listeners who will tell you that the soul leaves the mortal frame, but a soul is never born or dies, you know. So I think I think there is a need, मतलब in themes पे topics पे ज़्यादा discussions होनी चाहिए. For example, Hyderabad में there was a cafe that was called Death Cafe, you know, where
Oh.
come and talk about, you know, the longing for a loved one who no longer exists. And I think I hope that there will be more communities, like especially in-person communities. Online groups तो होंगे ही. And in fact, मैंने भी एक create किया था online group WhatsApp पे, because I knew a lot of people who had lost people along the course of their life. तो online community तो होती ही हैं, but थोड़ा अगर in person there is a space ना, a safe space जहाँ पे हम आके बात कर सके, that would really, I think, unburden a lot of us. Because मैं अपने एक्सपीरियंस, अपने अनुभव से बात कर रही हूँ. जब मेरी मॉम को गए 10 साल हो गए हैं. 2014 is when I lost her. In 2024 I still have bad days. कुछ दिन हैं मेरी लाइफ में जहाँ मैं मतलब I feel like मैं फिर से टूट रही हूँ. You know, I mean, maybe the period is shorter. I can recover a little faster than what I did in 2015 or 16. But मुझे तो लगता है कि काश कुछ अपने लोग होते who understand what the journey has been about, and there is no expiry date to grief. I think a lot of people who have not experienced grief, they don't understand कि मतलब मुझे कहा गया था, I think 2020 में, अरे 6 साल तो हो गए हैं मम्मी को गए, अभी भी ये तो इसी टॉपिक पर रो रही है.
मुझे भी ये सब बोला जाता है, मुझे भी बोला जाता है.
हाँ, ऐसी बातें चुपती हैं, you know, because and I feel that it is so insensitive to say that. And maybe, like आप अभी कह रहे थे, maybe people are just not equipped to deal with somebody who's you know, who's grief stricken. So I think that there has to be, it has to be a two-way thing ideally, but maybe two-way is too utopian, because I think unless you go through the experience, लोगों को समझ नहीं आती है. ये समझ है नहीं लोगों को कि you know, the journey can be so lonely. So yes, ideally I would like more conversation on the topic, because it's necessary to talk about something that is difficult and hard, because ये सबको affect करने वाला है. Period. You know, ऐसा कोई नहीं है जो 1000 साल जिएगा. So sooner or later, you know, we are going to lose our parents, and it just so happens कि हमारा number थोड़ा जल्दी आ गया. I was 32 when I lost her. You were probably 40 when you lost uncle.
No, I was in my late 30s, not even 40.
Oh, you're not even 40. Yeah, so that makes it, yeah. So that's why it's been harder for us, right? Most people lose their parents in their late 40s. I know people who are in their late 50s, early 60s who still have one parent around. तो यही है हमारा, like I said, no, station जल्दी आ गया था on that train. But yes, to answer your question, काश ऐसे कुछ थोड़े spaces होते, safe spaces जहाँ पे हम आके, you know, we would sort of celebrate, you know, the loved one's life.
और जैसे कि आपने की बिल्कुल सही कहा कि बहुत बार तो पेरेंट्स खुद ही नहीं पसंद करते हैं कि इन सब चीज़ों के बारे में बोलने का. मैं अपने मतलब इंडियन पेरेंट्स, आई एम श्योर पाकिस्तानी पेरेंट्स भी ऐसे ही होंगे, एंड हमारे जो जितने भी सिमिलर कल्चर्स हैं ना, हमारे माँ बाप जो है ये पसंद नहीं करते, जैसे कि आपने बिल्कुल सही कहा. और मैं इंडिया में, मुझे मालूम नहीं है कि अल्कोहलिक्स एनोनिमस जैसे ही कितने ऐसे ग्रुप्स हैं जहाँ पे जो है इन पर्सन लोगों से मुलाकात हो जाती है या फिर बातचीत हो जाती है. क्योंकि कोविड के टाइम पे सडनली वी वर कन्फ्रंटेड विद अ ट्रेजेडी ऑफ एस्ट्रोनॉमिकल प्रोपोर्शंस कि every family had someone who had passed, and there were families that were broken. एक तो चलिए इसका एक इमोशनल एक होता है impact, then there were also financial impacts, because many times we saw in many families the sole earning member passed, and then उसका जो है फैमिली का जो है वो फिर कोई देखने वाला कोई था नहीं, and then और वो एक अलग एक फाइनेंशियल वरीज भी जो है ना, दे ऑन टॉप ऑफ योर ग्रीफ इफ यू ऑल्सो हैव फाइनेंशियल वरीज, फिर जो है इट ओनली मैग्निफाइज योर पेन, इट एम्पलीफाइज योर सफरिंग, राइट. तो ये दोनों चीजें रिलेटेड हैं शायद, लेकिन फिर भी जो माइंडसेट है ना, मैं उस पर भी आपके ख्याल जानना चाह रहा था कि ये जो कुछ प्री कंसीव नोशंस आ गए हैं, एंड आई थिंक वी हैव इंटरनलाइज अ लॉट ऑफ इट, कि अच्छा मर्द हो तो तुम्हें दिखाना नहीं चाहिए कि तुम वीक हो सकते हो, नहीं, यू शुड नॉट क्राई, यू शुड नॉट डू दिस, यू शुड नॉट डू दैट। तो ये एक चीज जो है बहुत बड़ी बात है। तो क्या ये हमारे कम्युनिटीज तक ही महदूद है कि वी आर perhaps the only ones who don't like to acknowledge our grief and our pain and suffering because we think that in some way the society would perceive us to be weak and therefore our standing in society will go down, therefore we are not supposed to give vent to our feelings, our emotions। तो इसको कैसे फिर आप देखती हैं?
आई थिंक आपने अगेन बहुत रेलिवेंट बात की। इट्स सो ट्रू। आई हैड फ्यू फ्रेंड्स हु आर गाइज हु टेल मी दैट आई थिंक बचपन से उनको बोला गया है दैट एज अ बॉय दे हैव नॉट बीन एनकरेज टू शो देयर इमोशंस। So, with the result that a lot of men internalize these emotions or maybe look for a coping mechanism, which is substance abuse, alcohol, these other, like I said, they lean on these other, crutches.
Right.
So, they probably don't know how else to sort of cope with the pain that sort of hits them like a ton of bricks. तो ये बहुत आई थिंक इंडियन कल्चर में तो है ही, बिकॉज यू नो दैट स्टैंडर्ड लाइन जो बोला जाता था लड़कों को कि अच्छा अभी लड़की हो क्या अभी रोगे, और यू नो आई मीन लड़कियों की तरफ क्यों रो रहा है, यू नो दिस काइंड ऑफ डिस्पैरेजिंग रिमार्क्स जो यू नो बिलो द बेल्ट टाइप ऑफ रिमार्क्स व्हिच आर वेरी patriarchal in thought and very I think sexist, right?
Completely.
Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of boys growing up, at least in the previous generation, have been subject to it. I have friends, and when I say previous generation, I'm talking about, so we are in our 40s, right? I'm sure there are lots of, gentlemen listening who will, with whom this story will resonate, because I've had friends in their 40s, in their late 30s, who tell me that, you know, they were not encouraged to show any tears. And some of them don't even remember the last time they cried. Matlab, you know, crying, which is a basic something you can't even, you can't show your emotion over somebody that you've lost, somebody dear whom you've lost. I mean, it can be quite a hellish experience to just sort of go through the motions without even, you know, giving it a proper release, giving that grief or the emotions that, bubble up in you a release. तो ये तो आई थिंक इंडियन कल्चर में तो है ही। आई थिंक इंडियन सबकॉन्टिनेंट में इट वोंट बी इनकरेक्ट टू से दैट आई थिंक इट्स अ वेरी सबकॉन्टिनेंट थिंग, बट कोइंसिडेंटली मनी, मेरी जो छोटी बहन है, शी इज मैरिड टू एन अमेरिकन, and I was talking to him about how life is with in the Caucasian culture, right? And the surprising thing is, I mean, हमको इंडिया में बैठ के हमको लगा कि maybe it will be a little different there, but it's unfortunately similar even here in the amongst in Western culture, where at least the previous generation of boys was not actively encouraged to show emotion. Maybe things are changing now, because I think a lot of us mothers now, like I said, I have a 12-year-old daughter, and I have friends who are mothers of teenagers, you know, teenage boys and girls, and I think there is a growing awareness कि लड़कों को भी encourage किया जाना चाहिए to talk about things that are bothering them, to talk about things that are tearing at them, because बात करने की बात होती है ना, like they say. So yeah.
There was a very nice. Sorry to cut you short. I didn't want to, but there's a very nice ad which used to come on Indian TV some years back, which had Madhuri Dixit, you know, which has a montage of shots where, you know, boys are being told at various stages of their life कि भाई लड़के रोते नहीं है, लड़की हो क्या लो रहे हो, है ना? And then suddenly you see a grown-up man who is hitting his wife, and then Madhuri Dixit, who comes at the end, says कि perhaps we need to tell our boys that लड़के रुलाते नहीं है. I think that is a much more important conversation to be had.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that is again, yes. That's also, of course, it's a very pertinent, relevant side to the story. But I think with regard to showing of emotions, you know how it is, Mani. लड़के can show anger very quickly. उनको इनफैक्ट sometimes बढ़ावा दिया जाता है कि it's okay if angry young man का जो एपिथेट अमित जी के पर लगा था, anger is an emotion which can pass off as justifiable. But a vulnerable man or a man who needs that safe space, that is a narrative that has never been spoken about. I mean, a man doesn't necessarily have to be strong all the time, right? Just like a woman doesn't have to be strong all the time. But I think this is a very deep-rooted cultural thing, and I hope the next generation of boys is being raised well by moms of our age who know that we've been unfair to the men of the previous generation, really.
Of our generation too, I think. I think this is a very across the board phenomenon. Yeah. Hmm. Hopefully, but when you mentioned trauma, and I wanted to ask you about that, कि ये जो trauma cycle है, जिस पे मतलब because and at one point I thought that I should probably only have friendships with and I should have conversations only with people who have lost their loved ones, because then they will be able to understand better, they'll be able to empathize better. तो मुझे ये हमेशा मतलब अब आज भी होता है, ऐसा नहीं है कि मैं सिर्फ वही लोगों से बात करता हूँ, लेकिन फिर आपकी और मेरी जो है बातचीत भी इसी वजह से हुई ना, बिकॉज वी वर कनेक्टेड बाय ग्रीफ, सो देयर वाज अ ब्रिज दैट ग्रीफ क्रिएट्स बिटवीन पीपल. तो मुझे ये लगता है कि इस पे जो आप काम कर रही है ना विथ योर एनजीओ, और जो आप मतलब टेड टॉक्स भी आपने दिए हैं, मैंने देखे हैं एक आध आपके.
We're trying to be this conduit and bridge between people, 30 million people in the state of Telangana, who can do with improved infrastructure, health care, upskilling, livelihoods, उनको training दी जा रही है. So a lot of corporates are sponsoring these initiatives, but yes, sorry to interrupt you, but काम तो चल रहा है for the development sector.
जी बिल्कुल, और मैं यही जानना चाह रहा था कि आपसे, क्योंकि आपने उसका मतलब उसकी तरफ इशारा तो कर ही दिया है, लेकिन क्या कोई बड़े पैमाने पर, और चलिए मतलब पीपल इन नीड दे गेटिंग रिलीफ इज समथिंग डिफरेंट, बट स्पेसिफिकली पीपल इन ग्रीफ नीडिंग हेल्प, people who have been impacted materially as well because of COVID in the post-COVID scenario. A lot of people have lost their jobs, and if there are two earning members, one earning member passed during the pandemic, and the other also lost his or her job. And now it's a small family maybe, or maybe there are dependents who need to be taken care of, but then there are not enough resources. Plus you have your grief to deal with. तो ये दोनों ही सूरत हाल में फिर ये कोई ऐसे बड़े पैमाने पर हिंदुस्तान में कोई काम हो रहा है, इंटरनेशनली भी अगर आपको मालूम है, बिकॉज यू आर ट्रैवलिंग इन द यूएस, इफ यू नो ऑफ एनी ऑफ दोज इनिशिएटिव्स. कनाडा में अगर आपको मालूम है तो जरूर बताइएगा, सो दैट आवर ऑडियंसेस कैन आल्सो गेट इन टच विद पीपल, या कोई ऐसा कोई हेल्पलाइन है या जो भी है दैट यू आर अवेयर ऑफ. मैं ये नहीं कह रहा हूँ कि आपको जानना ही है, बट जस्ट इन केस यू नो कोई मतलब बड़ा ऐसा कोई इनिशिएटिव हो रहा है.
fact that कोविड के टाइम पे तो एक दो एक्चुअली काफी ग्रुप्स बनी थी, बट एक दो काफी बड़ी ग्रुप्स बनी थी where large scale help was extended. This was of course on Facebook, I know, but हम लोग अभी मैंने ये ज्यादातर देखा है कि there are organizations, like I know there is an organization, very legitimate one, called Give India, but it also operates across across borders. So Give India, for example, is an organization that will facilitate help. There are also some crowdfunding platforms like Impact Guru. There is a Minap. These are again crowdfunding platforms for people with genuine requests of help, who get a lot of help actually, because I know the CEOs of a couple of these crowdfunding platforms, जहाँ पे मैं सब दर्शकों को बता दूं कि crowdfunding is when, for example, if I have a very very pressing need for so for example hypothetically अगर किसी की फैमिली में एक्सीडेंट हुआ है, like you said, कोविड की वजह से somebody has lost a loved one, and then they are in dire need of, say, financial assistance, whether it is to pay the fees of the child, or whether it is to look after somebody who's unwell, or pay for the education. So through these crowdfunding platforms, a lot of help actually comes because social media is a very, very powerful tool and a medium. तो मैंने आपको एक इंसिडेंट का जिक्र करना है मुझे यहाँ पे
जी बिल्कुल
एक जेंटलमैन है जो है हैदराबाद में है उनका बेटा जो है he needed believe it or not 16 crore rupees for a drug to help him with he had a spinal cord injury. So not
wow 16 crore
16 crore rupees and so that's about that's about nearly $2 million US dollars, right?
I would assume so, yes.
About $2 million and I'm not kidding you, in 3 or 4 months he was able to raise that money through a crowdfunding platform, and of course he also activated his network. But he actually raised the money, and I met him. Okay, and there were 1 or 2 celebrities in Bollywood who had also endorsed his case. So when they amplified the message on their channels, काफी मदद मिली थी इनको. And the fact of the matter is that so there are platforms like I said, like Impact Guru Milap that will help people in need, and there are some very genuine NGOs, right? I would also want people listening to know that of course Bring a Smile Foundation is on all social media platforms, but we also have Telangana Social Impact Group, TSIG, that I lead in Telangana for CSR. So in case anyone wants to reach out, they can look us up online and send us a message. And we can at least direct them to the right channels in case it is beyond Telangana, because humanity as a whole, nobody distinguishes between borders and between people from a certain area of or region, right? Agar madad chahiye to madad chahiye, right? So I mean, through our network, we can at least direct them to the right avenues, so to speak. So I hope this little info helps Mani.
थैंक यू सो मच, थैंक यू. आई एम श्योर इट डज. एंड आखिर में मैं बहुत ज़्यादा टाइम आपका लेना नहीं चाहता हूँ, मेरा शो का टाइम भी वो है, अब बस 8 ही मिनट रह गए हैं. तो मैं आपसे जानना चाह रहा था कि एलन डीजेनेरेस के साथ आपकी मीटिंग कैसी गई, वो भी जरा बताइए. आपने पिक्चर दिया था सोशल मीडिया पे, मैंने देखा.
अच्छा, एलन डीजेनेरेस जो है टॉक शो होस्टेस रह चुकी हैं, एंड शी हैड हर ओन शो. 19 साल के लिए उनका शो चला, काफी सक्सेसफुल था यहाँ पे US में, and I mean, people know that she's a champion of LGBTQ because she's gay herself and she's married to a very nice lady called Portia. तो मैं एक्चुअली LA में थी, लॉस एंजलिस में थी, उनका शो था, तो जो अटेंड किया था मैंने. एंड मेरा मानना है मनी दैट आई टेक नेटवर्किंग वेरी सीरियसली, एंड मुझे ऐसा लगता है दैट अगर ऊपर वाले ने मुझे प्लेटफॉर्म दिया है, आई हैव टू make the most of it, because who knows, it might help someone else on the network. So when I reached out to Ellen, I mean, it was very interesting how I met her wife very briefly. वो backstage थी, तो मैंने उनसे बात की चुपचाप. मैं एक्चुअली स्टेज पे चल गई यहाँ पे. I mean, I pushed my luck a little bit, but अंधेरा था and the show hadn't begun. So I got talking to Portia, who's Ellen's wife. And she was kind enough to sort of put in a word to Ellen, and मैंने सीधा Ellen जी से पूछा. I said, why don't you come to India? We have 1.4 billion people, and we could do with some jokes. So, she was very gracious, and then she put me onto her manager, and my manager से बात कर रही थी, and I want to take that conversation forward. Let's see where it goes. But the fact is that Ellen has been an embodiment of kindness, really, to so many people in the US. In fact, a lot of women follow her. I don't know whether the gentlemen follow her as much, but she's just been a champion of women's rights, the LGBTQ community. So I'm just glad that I met her, and it was an absolute cherry on the cake, bolte na, as far as this US trip is concerned.
You yourself are a powerhouse of energy, Archana, so I'm sure that it was, I think, that meeting must have been something. Archana Suresh, it was lovely speaking with you. Thank you so much for sparing time for us on this show. And we would love to speak with you again. And I wish you safe travels back home. You're going back, I hear, a day after or maybe tomorrow. So safe travel. Safe travels and all the best with your work and with everything that you do.
Thank you, Mani. It's been an absolute pleasure being on your show, and I hope your listeners have enjoyed our conversation and banter. And here's wishing everyone the very best. Good luck and God bless.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye.